2024 is coming to a close, and with that, I want to take a look at all the movies we have to look forward to on the big screen in 2025. I love seeing all kinds of films on the big screen, whether it's genre films, awards films, franchise, originals, whether it's a sequel to something I enjoyed or a director that I really love coming back with another exciting film, or just something that has a very interesting sounding premise. This list is going to include a lot of different films. And it's not the definitive list for 2025 anticipated movies because we all have different opinions. This is just my subjective list. And if I left anything out, if you don't like the order, if there's something here that you don't particularly feel excited for the way I am, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I would love to continue the conversation after the video is over. Number 10, Sinners. Ryan Coogler's next film after Black Panther: Wakanda Forever and 2 Michael B. Jordan performances in the same movie? I'm sold. I'm gonna be there day one. This seems like one of the few times a year that a major studio kind of just gives a director a big budget, creative freedom, and lets them do whatever they want. And Ryan Coogler has gotten to that place in Hollywood where he has such an impactful name and reputation that after making some big films like Creed and the Black Panthers, he can now go crazy with something original like this. And we don't always get big budget original movies that aren't based on an IP from a major studio like Warner Brothers these days. It's got a cast that includes Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld, who I think we've been seeing more on the animation side lately. I know that there's gonna be a bit of gothic horror elements in this, but that is such a vague sort of tease as to what we're gonna get with Sinners that I'm just so excited to see whatever he's cooking here. Number 9, Captain America: Brave New World. I'll admit I actually like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier miniseries more than most people, and I'm not sure if this one is going to be better or worse than that, but I think whatever happens in the MCU, I'm usually excited for it. I think Harrison Ford as Ross is kind of like the only way they could justify bringing back this character without William Hurt, who passed a couple years ago, Black Widow being his final film as Ross, and now they're doing a Red Hulk dynamic, but not just that, Ross is the president, so they're teasing a very interesting dynamic now that Sam Wilson and Captain America have been legitimized again. He's no longer on the run like he was towards the end of the Infinity Saga, and now Sam has like fully accepted his responsibility as Cap. Shira Haas and Danny Ramirez round out other members of the cast, and Giancarlo Esposito as the antagonist. I mean, when is that anything less than awesome? He is such a wonderful actor. Number 8, Wicked for Good. So Wicked was not a movie I was really excited to see. Just, I don't know, the trailers didn't win me over. I never saw the musical. Then I went in theaters because it was so popular. I just realized that pun. And I really loved the movie. I mean, Cynthia Erivo is such a magical actress and singer and performer. Not just that, but the fact that all the musical numbers and the production value was so energetic. Where they chose to stop in this one is only halfway into the musical, but it feels like a complete film. So the fact that there's a second one based on the rest of the musical is really exciting. And we're getting it this November. There's going to be the culmination of Elphaba and Galinda's relationship, or Glinda now, as she's chosen to be called. And yeah, if the songs and the action and so on are just going to be bigger and more emotional, I have a feeling this can be even more amazing than the first. Number 7, Mickey 17. Again, this is a case of a major studio, Warner Brothers, giving a director like Bong Joon-ho what it seems to be like a massive budget and creative freedom. He's working this time with actors like Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, Mark Ruffalo, and Toni Collette. It's futuristic sci-fi, it's set in space, and the trailer seems very interestingly comedic in a way too. Again, the whole like clones, even clones in space, has been done to death in a lot of movies, but Bong brings his unique sense of dark humor. I feel like anything could happen. This movie seems like it's just going to let loose on its audience, and I can't wait for that. Number 6, The Fantastic Four: First Steps. With Fantastic Four movies, let's just say the bar is low. The bar is really, really low. This movie does not have to do anything to become the best Fantastic Four movie. That said, I feel like there's a lot of promise here. I'm still getting used to the Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards casting, but I enjoy him in basically everything. Even in Gladiator 2, I thought he was so much fun in it. Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm is perfect casting. Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Backrack, and we've also got Julia Garner, Natasha Lyonne, and Paul Walter Hauser rounding out the cast. I like that it's like a retro-futuristic 1960s setting. I like that it's in the multiverse, but not in like the quote sacred timeline of the MCU. It's gonna get to be its own thing. I still think the Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom casting is stupid, but I hope he's not in the movie too much because it seems like they need to focus on Galactus and the Silver Surfer in this one first. Number 5, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Every time Rian Johnson gets creative freedom with these movies, they end up working so well. I especially adored Glass Onion, the most recent one, and Daniel Craig coming back as Benoit Blanc with a completely new cast of A-listers, this time consisting of Josh Brolin, Glenn Close, Josh O'Connor, Kaylee Spaney, and many more. Nothing can go wrong. Guys, this is gonna be a banger. This will probably make my top 10 of the year. I don't know why I have to explain myself here. Number 4, F1. I feel like this movie could end up taking the movie theaters by storm this summer in a similar way that Top Gun Maverick did, not just because they're directed by the same person, but because it seems like a sort of realistic stunts IMAX experience for the ages. It feels like something that audiences are really craving. CGI-free, empowering sports film with Brad Pitt and other actors including Javier Bardem, Damson Idris, Kerry Condon. The cinematography in the trailer looks beautiful. I feel like from a visual perspective, it looks like such a strong racing film, at least at the level of Ford versus Ferrari. Number 3, Thunderbolts. Speaking of great casts, the cast that they've assembled for this movie, I mean, out of this world. I'm really excited because this one has the potential to be really irreverent and fun. Whether it's the characters that we already know, like Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Sebastian Stan, or Louis Pullman and Geraldine Viswanathan joining the MCU. I really hope they go all out with this movie. I really hope they don't hold back. I really hope they have a really fun story about misfits getting together. Like, maybe I'm just imagining that this is going to be the MCU's version of the James Gunn Suicide Squad, but I really hope it is something that enjoyable and that out there. Honestly, the trailer has really excited me for it. Number 2, Avatar, Fire and Ash. Avatar: The Way of Water was so gorgeous and stunning that I'm definitely going to be there day one for anything James Cameron does in this Avatar universe. Pandoraverse, Naviverse, whatever. There's going to be some new Navi clans, and obviously the journey is going to continue of the Navi fighting off the humans who are trying to colonize Pandora now. And honestly, whatever it is, I'm going to be there. Expanding on the technology, expanding on the world building, everything that the first two did worked for me so well, and all the ambition has paid off. I mean, just like all the behind the scenes of the way he has made these Avatar sequels, I just really hope that this one keeps the momentum going and blows our mind again. Before I announce my number 1 pick, I do want to talk about a few honorable mentions that almost made the list. Superman, directed by James Gunn. I'm really excited, especially to see Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, and all these different heroes come together in the first installment of James Gunn's ambitious new rebooted DC universe. 28 years later, directed by Danny Boyle. The trailer is breathtaking, and I'm really keen to see how they build on this. I really like the first 28 Days Later, and I think I'm going to be there day one for this one. The Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright. This is one of the rare remakes, reboots, etc. that I see a lot of potential for growth, and Edgar Wright directing anything, like, I just love this filmmaker to death. Ballerina, from the world of John Wick. Ana de Armas kicking ass with some gun fu choreography. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'll be there. And my number one most anticipated movie of 2025 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The trailer is stunning. It's exciting. I love Dead Reckoning so much. I think it's maybe one of the best action movies I've ever seen, and I can't wait to see how they wrap up the story, what ends up happening with the entity. Isai Morales as Gabriel, one of the best villains of the franchise, but I also just really love these Mission Impossible movies. I love Tom Cruise as Ethan. I love everything around them. Simon Pegg as Benji. All the incredible set pieces that seem to be in the trailer that they've offered in the past. Like, how do they keep topping themselves? This is ambition that pays off on such a massive scale, and you have to be there to see it in a theater, to experience the exhilaration of what Tom Cruise does, of what the stunt team and what the production manages to accomplish. I think especially the Christopher McQuarrie ones have been action filmmaking at their best. The fact that this is the final one makes me so pumped to see what's going to happen. They're going to have to make it as big as any action thing has ever been, and that scares me in the best way possible. So there you have it, my most anticipated movies of 2025. One thing I absolutely love and will forever continue to love is the theatrical experience. And some of these movies seem like they're going to be embracing that in the best way possible. Anyway, let me know if you are excited for a film that didn't make the list, if you agree with my top picks, if there's a movie that is particularly having you pumped for 2025. Let me know in the comments. Drop your list below, and I would love to continue the conversation. And as always, stay tuned for more.